I walk into my room and I went into the bathroom because I wanted to see what I looked like. 20 pounds lighter. Oh my gosh. I'm like super dark. My hair looked a hot mess. Wow. It's grown a lot though. The biggest transformation was the weight. Wow, look at my arms. I still have biceps. Just lean. I knew I'd lost 20 pounds, but what I didn't know was what that meant in terms of my physical appearance. I haven't seen my collarbone in a long time. Wow. I'm so thin right now. My thighs are thin, my stomach is thin. I got a little 4-pack going on. I look good.
And so when you saw that, it was like,
right, you look in the mirror, you like, I mean, I knew I lost weight, but I was like, oh my gosh. And then my hair grew, and then, you just like, wow. And I will say this, like, there's something to just diet in general. And, I wish we could learn more about just eating healthy and eating clean. Like, my skin was so clear. There was my best friend on the island, Spencer, when he started, he had like all this acne.
Yeah, I remember it. You showed it. Yeah.
Yes, by the end of the show, his face was completely clear. And I remember prior to the show, every year, when I worked at Edward Jones, you have your little health exam, and I would always have like high blood pressure. And then once I came back from Survivor, it was gone. And it's been gone ever since. And I was like, there is something to eating clean. So we had a lot of fish, a lot of rice, fruits, veggies. And I'm like, for 30 days, just on this super clean diet. And it did wonders just for my skin and my health. So that was an added bonus.
Yeah, man, I mean, and like I said, and I mean, it's like you said, and then, so after you get through with that, and you come home the second time you come back home is, so you made another action to become a member, and you made an action to become a member. Was that before or after? To become a member. Look at the head. Look at the head. I'm like, she ain't looking.
I see you now. I see a member. That was
after the first one?
It was after the first one. Yep. It was right after the first one.
Okay.
But when I played the first time, Jatia, who was on my tribe, who dumped all our rice in the fire, she was an AKA. So we weren't sorors at the time. So yes, it was right after that. So then the second time, of course, my sorors was supporting. Yes.
But I mean, like I said, and that just goes to show you go from survivor to taking that journey.
Taking a journey.
And my thing is that it makes it funny is knowing because of going the journey myself, I understand that mental piece. I mean, you go from survivor every day to this is like, wait, hold up. Am I back on this thing again?
Yes, absolutely. Which I think made my journey for Alpha Kappa Alpha just more like not necessarily easy, but mentally, you can handle it more.
Right.
I felt like I handled it well, and my line sisters being able to kind of help them more just because of that survivor experience.
And speaking of that, that's something that people, again, I've had brothers and sisters on here before who talk about, as far as, that's the misnomer that a lot of Black Greek organizations get, is that it's all the negative
The
piece,
negative. No.
and none of the building of relationships, the helping you as a person mentally.
Yes.
Think, because some of those pieces makes you think about life in a different realm.
In a different realm. And then, like you said, the relationships, like you got people that you can count on. So even to this day, like if I need anything, it's 10 other people that I know that I can count on, right? That I know that I can count on. And then just, you up late working on a project. You used to staying up late working on projects. So when you have work to do, community service or whatever, and you need to be up late working on project, it's nothing, right?
That's it.
It's nothing. And you got other people that you can call that's gonna stay up late with you and get the project done.
That's it.
So,
So
yep.
not to ask also, as far as your line situation, what number were you?
Number 3,
Oh, dang, I thought
which
you
is
was
my
one.
favorite number. That's like my
Right.
favorite number. Yes.
So now we've done Survivor, we've traveled the journey of AKA, and we've done Survivor again. There's a piece in there that I ran across that threw me. Tasha, the bodybuilder. What?
Ah! Yes. So when I came back from Survivor, because you're not eating, so when you come back, you just want to eat, and so I just ate, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is out of control. And so I asked one of my sorors, like, hey, is there a trainer or something that you work with? Because she looked good. She gave me her trainer's name. Shout out to my boy D. Anthony Moore of HD Fitness. Love D. Anthony. Like he's just like he was a nurse, so he knows all about the body, kinesiology, all of that stuff. And so I started training with D. Anthony, not to be a bodybuilder, but just to get in shape. And then over the course of the years, he was like, you can get on the stage. And I was like, stage? Did anybody say stage?
Keyword stage.
Yeah, I like the stage. And there was like, it was the regular people. So I was over with the regular people working out. And then there were the girls kind of over doing their own thing. And I was like, well, who are they? And he was like, that's the competition team. So I said, competition team. Okay, I put me on the competition team. And so then we started that journey in preparation for bodybuilding. And like, I loved it. I'm starting to train again now for probably a show next year. But yes, I'm kind of getting back in that mindset. But it just, again, came out of nowhere. Just like, you think you want to do this? I'm like, sure, sign me up. And so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the working out. I enjoyed like the look of your body when you're in shape. You can go to the store, put on anything, and it fits. So I like that. And yeah, so the competitions. I turned pro my first show, which is crazy, but it's just a testament. Like when you put that work in, what the results can be.
Yeah, and like I said, you like I say again, you put work in everything you do. I mean, you go for the jugular because you don't like I said, because you don't like losing. We know that.
I don't like losing, but I don't mind the hard work and the preparation to try to prevent the loss. Like sometimes you're just gonna lose. It is what it is. But as long as I know I did everything I could do to prepare and that I pushed myself and that I was the best that I can be, like I'm good, know.
Now, since we're talking about athletics, what do you think about this new thing that's coming about to where it doesn't matter how your record is, everybody get a trophy?
Now, okay, so let me say this. I don't have children. So, I don't have that perspective of the parent where you want your child, to be
Mhm.
appreciated and to not be upset. So I'm not a parent, so I can't
I'm,
empathize
I
with
want from
what
the
that
athlete,
feels like. Right.
Give me the athlete look.
Yeah, but from an athlete's perspective, if you lose, you go home with nothing. So that when you win, you'll appreciate
Appreciate that's
that you
it.
get the trophy. But if every time I competed, I got the trophy, like what's the difference between winning and losing?
Thank thank you, Miss Fox. I've been trying to say that serves no purpose.
It serves no purpose,
If if my team finishes 0-17 and your team finishes 17-0 and we get the same trophy, except yours a little bit bigger than mine, what's like it's almost like in a comedian used the example of you train for 4 years for the Olympics. Four
Yep.
years you train, you don't go no parties, you don't do nothing, and you come in dead last. It's like, dude, I could stay at home and done whatever I felt like doing.
Yes. Yeah. I don't agree with that. And I feel like it sends the wrong message to the child,
Yeah,
and once you leave little league, then like life gets real, right?
yeah,
Not everybody wins in life.
that's it.
Not and not everybody gets a trophy in life. Like you might leave the corporate function with nothing. that, that's what it is. But then if I've been trained that I'm always going to get something, then that's the expectation. And now that I have 110 babies, my babies that work for
Right.
me, now I like those are the young minds
Yeah,
and the young people that I now have to lead. These young people, that some of them that think it is what it's not, if
right,
that
right.
makes
Got
sense,
you. Yeah, yeah.
and so now they're transitioning into the workforce and they have a different mindset. Like, no, we not everything goes, and not everything is about you.
Right.
And like not everything is to make you happy. It's about making the guests happy. So let's transition from making you happy to making the guests happy. So yeah, it's it's something else. But I do think that we need to teach children that there are winners in life and there are losers. But you don't have to be a loser if you work hard, you dedicate yourself, you
That's it.
focus, you put in the work, you can win. That's it.
And like I say, there's a saying that my grandmother left with me that nothing beats a failure but a try. So the thing
There
it
you
is,
go.
you may fall down, but you ain't out until you stop trying.
Until you stop trying. I agree. I agree. And like I said, you're not going to win every time, but as long as you gave your best, then even without a trophy, I feel good
Right.
because I know I gave my best. I don't need your second place trophy or your consolation prize when I know I did my best. I'm
That's
good.
all
So if
right.
we could teach kids that, then
Whole
they'd be
lot better.
winning.
Yep.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
okay, so we've transitioned from survivor to bodybuilding to AKA, and you had Edward Jones all that time doing that.
Yep. 17 years.
Okay, so how we go from counting somebody else's numbers and keeping their books to saying, I think I want my own business and somebody else to keep my books.
Woo, yes. Well, and I attribute it really to Survivor because um when I went to Survivor the first time, I got a chance to kind of get away from what I knew, right, which was corporate America.
Right,
And
right.
I remember the producers and the staff had on these shirts and they said allergic to cubicles. And I was like, I'm so jealous because I spend my day all day every day in a cubicle,
Cubicle, right.
and then you have these producers from South Africa, New Zealand, from everywhere living their best lives, like doing what they love, and they're not in a cube. And so I was like, man, when I get home, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna see like what is it that I want to do. So then when I came home the first time from Survivor, I kind of got comfortable again, just kind of
Okay.
settled in and back in my cubicle working. And then when I went to Survivor the second time, again, that theme was called Second Chances.
Right,
I
right.
feel like God gave me a second chance to reassess like what my passions were, what my purpose was. And so I said, when I come back that second time, I'm going to do something different. I didn't know what it was, but I'm going to do something different. So when I came back, one of my really good friends, Carla, her name is Carla, my sorority sister, and my church member, my fellow praise dance member, Carla and I were at Chick-fil-A, and she was doing like a temporary assignment at Edward Jones for the week. And
Okay.
so every day we went to Chick-fil-A for lunch. And I said, Carla, girl, we eat here so much, we should own it. Thinking like buying stock in Chick-fil-A, but I didn't know at the time that Chick-fil-A didn't have stock because they're a private company. I didn't know that. And so I was like, I'm gonna do some research. So I went back to work and I was looking, I couldn't find any stock information. I was like, this is so weird. And so then I went to chick-fil-a.com and I was just reading about the company. I'm like, oh, okay, it's owned by the family. That's why there's no stock. That makes sense. And then I read the corporate mission, which is to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us and to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. Once I read that corporate mission, like I was in my cube, like bawling, like, oh my gosh, it touched me.
Right, right.
And I was like, man, because even at Edward Jones, like I would work, but then at Edward Jones, you get opportunities to mentor like high school students and speak at events and stuff to young people. And so I did all those things while I was working at Edward Jones. And I'm like, I'm doing double work, right? Trying to mentor and coach and do these speaking engagements and work at Edward Jones. I was like, I need to work smarter, not harder. And
Mhm.
so I realized working at Chick-fil-A would give me an opportunity to work directly with young people,
Okay.
to teach them skills that will go with them for the rest of their lives, and then to just be able to serve the community,
Right.
and have a positive influence on the people in my community. And so that's when I was like, I want to operate a Chick-fil-A. Didn't see it coming. It still blows my mind. And I'm still learning because I mean, I didn't know anything about fast food. So all of
Right,
this
right.
stuff I'm learning, but I do know leadership, I know
Mm,
business,
that's
I
it.
know numbers, and I know service. And so I kind of draw on those strengths and then everything else. Like I learned how to bread chicken. I learned how to, cook the fries and change the oil, that kind of stuff you can learn. But that passion for young people and the passion for
That's it.
people in
Yeah,
general, you can't teach that. Either you have it or you don't.
right. That's it.
And so, yeah, that's I found all of that in Chick-fil-A. So, and I tell my team, it's not about the chicken. Like, if you think it's about the chicken, you're missing it. It's about the people. So while we serve chicken, it's how do we talk to the guests when they
Right.
come in? Do you know their name? Do you know what they get every week?
We
Um, and I remember there was a young lady, this is before the pandemic because the dining room was open, and she was leaving out of the restaurant. I was coming in and the spirit just spoke to me. So I asked her, I said, ma'am, are you okay? And she stopped, she turned around and she was like, no, I'm not okay. And I was like, oh Lord, we done messed up her order. She not okay. And she just looked at me and I was like, you know, it just I ma'am, what's going on? She was like, I've just lost my son. And I
wow.
was like, we are in the parking lot, okay? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, can I give you a hug? And I gave her a hug and I just started ministering to her and just saying whatever the Lord told me to say. And I just told her, like, your son, the Lord told me to tell her he left something behind and that she had to
Wow.
tell his story and make sure that whatever he left behind, that she told his story. And so hug, she said bye, she left. About 30 minutes later, she came back and she came in and she was looking for me. She was like, I just want to tell you, like, that for the first time since he passed, that I have peace. And I thank you for what you said. And she said, I wanted to tell you what he left behind. And I said, okay. She said he left behind a son, a 1-year-old
Wow.
son. And
Wow.
when you said that I had to tell his story, there was just confirmation. Like she just needed to just tell her grandson
Grandson, right?
all
About her
about
daddy.
his dad, right? And he had
Wow.
passed away in his sleep. He had an asthma attack. And
Wow.
so I didn't know that. Like, and I like the Lord just used me to give this guest comfort, and I had no idea. And so that I think was when I realized that I was doing my purpose, living my purpose,
Mm,
and through chicken.
mm.
And while I didn't have to go out and find people, like the
Yeah.
Lord was just bringing them
Bringing people.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
And and you don't know people's stories, you don't know what they're talking or what they're going through. But when the Lord just gives you a word, just give it, just give it to the person. And that's what I did. And even with the young people, like I'm a tough leader. Like I don't take no mess.
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
I don't take no mess. I don't like no mess. I don't like a lot of talking and playing. Like, so for the young people that work for me, they probably tell you, Miss Tasha mean. No, I'm not mean, but I'm about the business.
Business.
And
Yeah.
I need for y'all to be about the business because I'm trying to train you so that when you go on to your career or your other jobs, you're not going to be like everybody else,
Right.
right?
Right.
Then you're going to be different. You're going to be different than what they expect you to be. And
Mm-hmm.
then with that, when you stand out, you get promotions and leadership, more money, more responsibility. So that's what I'm trying to teach them, that when you work, you're focused and you work. Our phones, the phones, you don't have
Right.
your phone on you.
Don't
Your
worry.
phone goes in the
Yes.
break room, and I'll write you up if you have it, because you can't focus on your job if you texting. So it's a lot of rules, Cecil, and it's a lot of discipline, but it's exactly what these young people need in a time like this. So and I get some, if they work well in the system, some of them don't work
Yeah.
well in the system
Hey.
because it's a level of discipline.
Right. But the thing of it is, you give them the opportunity to
Yes,
choose whether you're gonna be a
to
good
choose.
worker or you have to work somewhere else.
Or I always say, there's plenty of places down Lindbergh that would love to have you. But if you're gonna be here, we're gonna do things differently, right? And so, and that's it's tough. Like it's tough to hold that standard and to say not anything goes here.
Right.
Everything doesn't go here, and so you either with it or you're not.
And
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 yeah,
another thing that you have is the fact that you understand and have been around hospitality.
yes,
See that makes it
uh,
when you have a foundation and you've been taught principles about hospitality. Because like I say, Dr. Clark has laid so many jewels on us,
yes,
and it's
yes.
the fact that we act like at times we don't get it and we ain't got it. But when things
But
come up at times,
yes,
it just automatically jumps in because it's part of your foundation.
it's part of
It's
the
part of who you
foundation.
are to where anytime you're around somebody, they feel like they're worth something.
They're worth something, right? And then it's my challenge to translate that to each individual worker, team member, so that they can have a hospitable spirit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so that's the challenge
yeah.
for me as the business owner. How do I get 15, 16, 17-year olds to have a spirit of hospitality? And so that's the work, and it has to be taught and practiced. And we've been sitting under Dr. Clark for a long time, so it's in us.
It's in us.
And
Yeah,
so now I'm trying to teach those things to these young people,
yeah,
and that's the challenge, but that's the joy.
yeah. And like I say, and you've been doing it because in 3 years now, you like
Whew.
and they say you hitting that point where they say, well, by the third year is when you really see what's going on.
Yes,
We at year 3.
we at year 3 now, and I will say, like, it's a blessing to be able to work on the business more than I work in the business. Whereas
Excellent.
before, I had to be in making the fries, breading the chicken, cleaning the bathrooms, like, because that's what was necessary. But now my leaders, my team members, they're so well trained. Now I can sit back and say, okay, what organizations can we donate to?
Yeah.
What events can we have at the restaurant? What can we do a coat drive? So now that's working on the business. And
Right.
that's the
Right.
part where I'm glad to finally be able to be at.
And like I said, we want to let you know from Mr. Parker's neighborhood, we are so glad to call you little Tasha Fox, Tasha TF if we need to. But
Yes.
I mean, I am so happy and so proud to be able to call you my friend, my sister, and
Yes.
I mean it's beautiful. And I mean, I'm gonna play a game with you before we go. I'm gonna about I mean, you done let me sit here and let you talk, and you done sold me all this good stuff. This is gonna be about 17 episodes off of you. But
Oh my
but let's play a quick game. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. It's
Okay,
just
I
three
like
questions.
that.
Just three questions. All right, first question. Who would you like to sing a duet with? Anybody, anybody.
Anybody? Let's see. Beyonce.
Okay, okay.
Yes, give me Queen B all day.
All right. So who would you like to dance with, and what dance would you want to do?
Ooh, who would I like to dance with? Oh my gosh. Who's a good dancer? You know what? I would go old school. I would dance with MC Hammer.
All righty then.
I would dance with MC Hammer.
Hey, he was paying everybody, so hey, you be all right.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, number three. Who would you choose to do a love scene with in a movie?
Oh, okay. A love scene in a movie, child. Give me, oh man. I think I'm gonna have to go with Michael Ealy.
Okay.
Give me Michael Ealy.
Look. All those answers were great answers, Tasha. All of them good answers, good answers. So if there's anyone out there who inspiring to do or be anything in your realm between dancing, business owner, sports, what advice would you give them?
Okay, well, I would say preparation. Like with anything, if you have a dream, don't wait for the opportunity to come to you to prepare for it. Because I always say, if you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And so, like, what your passions are, the things that you are pursuing. So make sure that you prepare yourself so that when that door opens, you're ready to just walk through it. For example, it took me 3 to 4 years to get through the Chick-fil-A interview process. It takes
Mhm.
that long, but all the time that I was interviewing, I was volunteering to work at Chick-fil-A's. So when I left Edward Jones, I would go over to DePere or Hampton and Chippewa and just work for free in the kitchen or up front. And I learned a lot of stuff through just being there and volunteering my time, so that when I got the opportunity, I knew what I was talking about and I could speak to why I wanted the opportunity. So in the interview, when they say, well, why do you think you want to be an operator? I could say, well, because I love how the kitchen works when this da 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 da, and I love doing this and da 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 da. And so it showed them like that I knew exactly what I was asking for. And so whether it's dance, if you want to be a dancer, start dancing, start taking classes, start getting into that community, and get mentors. Like I do not have a proud bone in my body. Like when I want to do something, I'm seeking out the people that are doing it and asking for guidance, asking for mentorships, and asking for just knowledge. So reach out to the people that are doing what you want to do, get that knowledge and be prepared. And yeah, and then I would say, this is my advice that I give to everybody. Like when you making your moves, keep them on the low, right? Don't tell everybody about the moves that you want to make, because they might try to not try to crush your dreams, but they may unintentionally say things to discourage you, like, oh, girl, don't nobody do that. Nobody can do that. Like, you don't want that energy. So when you're making your moves and your plans and you're doing your vision board, which I have a vision board and I put my stuff up there, that's only for me to know and for me to see. And then everybody else, you can just watch it as it happens, right? Because you don't want people to kind of douse your dreams. So that's my advice.
Ooh, that's good stuff. See, look, and you gave it for free today. Next time I got to pay for it. Next time, yeah. Well, I want to thank you again, Miss Tasha Fox. Girl, look, I love you to death. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll give him a hug when I see you on Sunday.
All right, sounds good. We open on Sunday. Can't wait.
Yes, ma'am. All right, baby. Thank you very much. Have a good one now.
Thank you, Cecil.
All right, love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Tasha.